Today I am pouring this massive desk. It has been prepped and I have spray painted the base roughly. As you can see, I didn't do a very good job of it, but not to worry because we're going to cover this entire thing with epoxy. So the resin I'm using is from Resin Cult, and absolutely loved using this resin for this project. And as you can see, I am starting off with my favorite technique, which is a dirty pour. People do call this an exotic pour, but essentially what you do is lay your colors into one big cup and then pour them out together. The requirement for this desk is to be like a black and a woody kind of feel. So we want some bronze and we want some sort of chocolatey caramel colors and we want some black in there. So what I like to do is make a big cup, and this one that I'm doing now is going to be the central vein. So this is going to be sort of like the main focal point. So I have gone a bit heavy on the bronze on this one. And based on how this comes out, I can then prepare the rest of my cups. I want the trajectory of this piece to be sort of like diagonal lines. So my middle vein, my first vein, is this diagonal that I've gone for, and I'm doing a little couple of smaller ones on the side. So this is what the first looks like, and like I said, I have gone heavy on the bronze in this cup. So now that I have my feature veins in there, I can build the rest of the colors around it accordingly. Now, when doing a dirty pour, I advise that you tape your edges like I have done. And the reason for that is that once we lay out the pattern and once we pour out these cups, we kind of want the epoxy to stay in that design, because otherwise it will, if you don't tape your edges, it's going to spread out and you're going to lose some of that beautiful pattern. So we're going to, as you can see, I have taped my edges, and when my resin is kind of tacky but not quite set is when I will come and pull the tape. And that really depends on the brand of resin you're using, the temperature and the humidity in the room. There are so many factors to that, so you're just gonna have to see how it's going for you. You can do a little test in a corner by pulling a tiny amount of tape, and if it's flowing slowly, the timing is right. If it's coming down too quickly on the side, then you're doing it too quickly, so you probably should tape it back and leave it longer. So this technique takes in more resin than some of the other techniques. This is because, like I said, we are making all of these cups and pouring it out, and we are gonna leave it on the surface before we pull the tape. So this technique does take more resin than others, but I absolutely love using this technique because it gives a lot of flow and movement to the piece. So yeah, let me know how you feel. Like I said, I am using resin from Resin Cult, and you can use the code Jessica to get 10% discount on all of their resins. This has worked beautifully for me on this project. Once I have all my resin down, I am just going to be using my fingers to fill in some of those gaps to get rid of any surface tension that I have on there, and that's what I'm doing, literally filling in the gaps with my fingers and making sure that my resin has gone over to the sides of the tape and is touching the tape. So when I come to pull the tape later, I can have all of that flow on the edge to give us a nice edge. Okay, so it has been a good couple of hours, and it is time now for me to go around and pull the tape. Absolutely loving what this is looking like. It looks like a river table. It looks like there's some slabs of wood in there, and it looks like a live edge river table. Next thing I like to do is top coat my pieces, and I'm using this ultimate top coat from Stone Coat Countertops, and this is going to make this desk scratch resistant and heat resistant, and it's also going to give it a matte finish. Because this is a desk, the client does not want any reflections and glare of the screens and the monitors on the desk, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this matte. This finish is applied with a roller. You go in with a wet roller first and then you dry roll the product. Make sure you get the roller on the edges as well so that the finish is scratch resistant and heat resistant on the edges as well. And that's it. We're going to leave this to cure for another 24 hours and the desk will be ready to use. Now is a good time for me to remind you to make sure that you like, subscribe and hit that bell button so that you can get notifications for when I upload my videos. Also, let me know in the comments what you think of this project and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.